Hi guys, so today we are talking about the Enlightenment. So for our warm-up, we're going to read this short paragraph and answer these two questions. What are natural rights and how are they preserved? Enlightenment and enlightened absolutism. Enlightenment thought had an effect on the political life of European states in the 18th century. The philosophies believed in natural rights for all people. These rights included equality before the law, freedom of religious worship, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and the right to assemble, hold property, and pursue happiness. As the American Declaration of Independence expressed, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So natural rights are described as rights that you are born with. The philosophies believed in natural rights for all people. Rights that you are born with naturally. How are they preserved? So let's go back. Philosophies believe natural rights for all people. These rights include equality before the law, The Declaration of Independence expressed, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So our paragraph doesn't show exactly how these laws or these rights are preserved through law. But one thing it does mention is the Declaration of Independence. And the Declaration of Independence lists these natural rights out, saying that they are truths, that it is to be true. So we can say that they are preserved through the writing of the Declaration of Independence. All right. And you can add a little bit more detail to your answer in that question. You could say that it doesn't show that there are laws to back up what the Declaration of Independence says, but those are sort of preserved in that document. All right. So the next two slides are kind of informational slides about the Enlightenment. So this slide talks about what the Enlightenment is. It says the Enlightenment is credited with changing the way Europeans thought about government, politics, property, and liberty. Influenced by the Renaissance, the Reformation, and the Scientific Revolution, these thinkers wanted to apply a new perspective using reason to examine the way society functioned. So they've already reconstructed how they do church and how they think about science and art and science. And so now they're thinking about politics and how they do politics. The exchange and diffusion of ideas on government, religion, and human rights led to changes in the structure of society and government in Europe. Many of the ideas of the Enlightenment thinkers influenced the political reforms and revolutionary ideas of the late 18th and early 19th centuries. The Enlightenment remains today a vital part of the world's intellectual, cultural, and political heritage. How did it start? So its immediate roots can be found in the scientific revolution. Just as Isaac Newton applied rational analysis to nature leading to the discovery of natural laws, Enlightenment thinkers applied these techniques to the human behavior. They examined political, social, and economic problems and tried to establish solutions based on the scientific method established by Newton and others. While the ideas and principles of the scientific revolution helped inform the Enlightenment, they were not the only source of inspiration. The Enlightenment has longer roots, going back to the ideas of classical Greece and Rome. The Enlightenment was also shaped by the Renaissance and the Protestant Reformation. During the Renaissance, humanists argued for the importance and worth of the individual. Reformers questioned the authority of the Roman Catholic Church and argued that individuals should think for themselves. So that idea, we've talked about this in social studies so far, all of these ideas are building on each other. So the idea that we started with in the Renaissance of that the individual or the human is what we should focus on rather than the divine. That idea spread through art and science. Scientists started looking at the human body and anatomy. They started to have all these new inventions and ideas and gaining knowledge through the invention of the printing press. And then the Protestant Reformation broke the church in half because people were beginning to break away from tradition and their ideas and the way that things have done and started to come up with new ways and innovative ways to make society stronger. And so now we have another branch of that momentum in politics and government. So we have an Enlightenment reading. There's a timeline here that you don't have to do anything with. It's more of just a visual aid. And then you guys are going to answer this question. The U.S. Constitution says that the government cannot limit freedom of speech. Is freedom of speech necessary in order to enjoy other natural rights? So pick one. First, answer that question, and then pick one natural right and explain why it can't be fully enjoyed without freedom of speech. And we're going to talk about all these in class. So here's your Enlightenment reading. I'm going to give you guys my login. It's amore@cfci.net. And the password. Oh, no.
I said, oh, I know, man.
All right, so you click on this link, and it should pop up as the PDF. And then we're going to go through this reading and answer this question together in class. All right.